Hi everyone, I'm Lauren, and I'm back again with another game collection video. This time we're doing the PS1. PS1 is not a system that I grew up with. Actually I didn't grow up with any Sony system. Just that's what we didn't have. We were more familiar with Nintendo stuff than Sony stuff. I really like the Sony systems for the most part. I guess it's just because there's a lot of Japanese RPGs and a lot of the kind of weird, wacky stuff tends to go on those systems, or at least used to. Yeah, so I just like a lot of the games that are on there. There's a lot of imports as well. Not all the Sony systems are import friendly, like the PS1 is region locked, but I still import stuff anyway because I have a Japanese PS2. I like importing stuff even if it's a little bit more expensive sometimes. Yeah, so the PS1 in particular is one that I wish I could get more into, but it is a little bit on the older side, so some things are a little bit too janky for me, but more importantly, the PS1 is expensive. It's really expensive for a lot of games. There definitely are some cheap games, but I like RPGs the most, and the RPGs are the most expensive. For generally, anyway. I'm sure there's exceptions, but yeah. So it doesn't make it appealing to collect for when all the good RPGs are over $100 kind of thing. Now, it does help a little bit sometimes. The fact that I don't like the PS1 jewel cases, they break so often, and I just find them harder to clean for whatever reason, and I've had so many problems with discs coming loose and just flying all over the bloody place. So I tend to try and put my PS1 games in DVD cases. So they don't look very pretty right now, most of my games, because they're in DVD cases and I haven't gotten around to printing covers. So I'll be showing you discs for this and instead of covers for most of these. But one day they'll look nice with covers, and then I won't have to worry about them flying all over the bloody place. Also, it helps for, I don't know, unifying things a little bit. But since I don't like the jewel cases for them, sometimes I can save some money by just buying disc only, but sometimes there's no option for that, so it doesn't work out anyway. Anyway, let's get started with the games. I'll just point out the two that I have in the jewel case right now. I should say most of these games I do actually have the jewel case for, because that's just how I bought them and it was cheap enough or cheaper that way. I store them separately because I put them in DVD cases, so there's no point in having them out about. But I do have two games that are still in the jewel case because I got them and I haven't had the chance to put them in DVD cases yet. First is Chrono Cross RPG from Square Enix. I haven't gotten around to playing it yet, and I don't know much about it, but it's kind of a sequel to Chrono Trigger. I don't think it's much alike, other than it has some time travel. So there you go. I particularly hate this jewel case. It's very crummy. It's falling apart and stuff, and I don't like it. So I need to get this in a DVD case pronto. And then the other one that I still have in the jewel case, this one I got really recently. Chrono Cross I actually opened really recently because it was really cheap sealed. The one I got recently is Elemental Gearbolt. Now, this is the Japanese version because the English version is really, really expensive. And this is a light gun game, and I wanted to try it out because I have the Polymega on order with a there's a gun you can get that is supposedly you could use on a LCD TV, because normally light guns you can only use on CRT TVs just because of how the stuff works. I I could probably explain it, but I'm not going to here. So I wanted to get some light gun games so that when I do get the Polymega, hopefully this year, I can actually try out the light gun games. Because I haven't been buying them because I can't play them. I really wanted to play Elemental Gearbolt, but not for, I think it goes for at least $200 or something like that. I don't remember. But the Japanese version is $20 or 20 or $30. So I don't 100% know if this will work, even on the Polymega, because there are some notes about what the Polymega's gun emulates, essentially, the type of guns that it emulates. So I don't 100% know if that will work, but at least I only spent $20 or $30. So that's kind of the mindset I have for this. If this doesn't work, I'll have to figure out if I want to pony up for the 200 or 300 or hundreds of dollars. It's definitely hundreds. It's annoying. I think it also has some story to it. Won't be able to understand it that well with the Japanese, but what can you do? Alright, so now we're into the ones that are in DVD cases, so they don't look very fun, but I'll show you the discs anyway. So then we have another Japanese import. This is Advanced VG. This is an animated, wow. This is an anime fighting game. Oh my god, that's really reflective. Let's put that away. Maybe I'll put the cover art somewhere. That might be more interesting. Haven't gotten around to playing it, but it was cheap. I got it in Japan, I'm pretty sure. And it looks kind of neat. Fast-paced, easier fighting game. I don't get a lot of fighting games because I'm really bad at them. But I don't spend a lot of time to try to get good at them either, so of course you're not going to get good at them if you never try to get good at them. But then we have Atelier Mary Plus. This is this one I definitely got in Japan, and it's the first Atelier game in that series. And I really like the Atelier series, one of my favorite series, if not my favorite series, video game series. Alchemy, crafting, cute girls doing stuff. A lot of the games have time management as well. Newer ones, not as much. It's just really fun. I haven't gotten around to playing this one. I should say the Plus adds some stuff. I don't remember what it adds from the original, but I haven't gotten around to playing this one because heavy Japanese, but one day I will get to it because I really like Atelier. But I gotta figure out how to learn Japanese without my brain dying. And then we have Chocobo's Dungeon 2. This is in the Fushigi no Dungeon, or Mysterious Dungeon series of roguelikes. Pretty standard kind of roguelike. I don't think we got the first Chocobo Dungeon game in English. Just got the second one, so... the Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo's Dungeon is also in that series, I'm pretty sure, because I mean it's also a Fushigi no Dungeon game. Yeah, I haven't played this one in particular quite yet, but I want to. I say that with a lot of my games, but I do want to. Just roguelikes are also really long. I guess they're also RPGs, so... And I like RPGs, and they're all really long. And then we have one of Devin's games. This might be the only PS1 game that he's gotten. He doesn't really have too many. And that's Dragon Quest Monsters 1 and 2. This is, I think that's what it's called anyway. That's what I have written down. And it's a remake of what is called in North America Dragon Warrior Monsters 1 and 2. This is a remake. It has more colors, better graphics. I don't know if it adds anything or not. I haven't played it. Devin had to get it because he's a huge Dragon Quest Monsters fan. So he gets everything that he can get his hands on for that series. Then we have Final Fantasy VIII with its 4-disc glory. Classic Final Fantasy game. It's one that has a bit of love-hate for, I think. I haven't played it yet because Final Fantasy games are a little bit intimidating, but I do eventually want to play them, maybe in order, the whole series. So we'll see how I fare with that. But I don't really know much about it other than one of the main characters. I think his name is Squall. He is kind of grumpy a lot of times, but I think that's just a localization thing that doesn't translate that well. I think it's seen more as cool in Japan, like a serious, calm, collected guy kind of thing. But in North America just seems like he's a grumpy, everything sucks, but so it doesn't translate that well. From what I understand, anyway. Okay, this is another one of Devin's games. This is Final Fantasy Tactics, the original Final Fantasy Tactics game. I believe I got this for a birthday present for him one year. I've tried to play it, and I'm really terrible at it, because I'm really terrible at tactical games, and there's so much information here, and I don't know how to do anything. It's just... Yeah, that's my take on Final Fantasy Tactics. Unlike some Fire Emblem games, I actually got past the first or second battle, but I didn't get that far though. The story seemed interesting, but I got my butt kicked really bad. And then we have Kamitachi no Yoru Tokubetsu. This is in the Kamitachi no Yoru series, or Legend of the Sickle Weasel, or Banshee's Last Cry. Here's the disc. It's awesome. It's matte black. I don't know if it comes out well on the camera, but it's doubly cool because the back is also black. Now, I think there's some PS1 games that are black and some are purple, I think, and some are not. But oh, it's such a cool disc. Anyway, enough fangirling over the disc. It's a visual novel, horror, kind of spooky, or it's in a series of horror, spooky, visual novel-y type stuff. I don't know specifically what happens in this one, but the first one, you're kind of trapped in a cabin, and there's a snowstorm, and murder, solve the murder. I haven't played any of them in the series yet, but I've seen a lot of gameplay of the first one, and I don't know why, I'm just really invested in the series now for some reason, even though I haven't touched it yet, because visual novels are heavy in Japanese, wouldn't you guess that? Or at least Japanese ones are. But I got this one in Japan, and it's really cheap, so bonus. Also, I just love this disc! Even if I hate it, I'm gonna keep it because the disc is awesome! A lot of PS1 discs are just silver shiny. That one's just matte black, and I have not seen another disc like that, I think. I'm pretty sure, or at least entirely matte black. There might be another one that's mostly black, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. I don't know why, I just think that's really cool. It works as well because it's a horror game, or horror visual novel. It's spooky. It fits. We have Legend of Mana. Here's the disc. This recently got a, I don't know if it's a remake or a remaster or what, but it's on the Switch and PS4, and it's an RPG I think it's in the second Sensetsu games. Action RPG. And it has some mechanics that I don't understand just by looking at it, so yeah, don't know how it goes, but seems there's a little bit of world customization, and there's a lot of quests and stuff that good luck trying to do if you don't have a guide, from what I understand. But I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet. Might just go ahead and get that remaster perhaps and play that instead. I don't know. It does look really nice though. I've heard good things about it. Now we have Moon RPG Remix Adventure. There it is. Hello. This Summit recently got a English translation. This used to only be This used to be in Japan only, but now it has a translation on the Switch. Isn't that nice? It's a really weird, quirky adventure game. Doesn't really tell you that a whole lot, but you have to make friends with people or something, and you get stuck in a video game world kind of thing. It's interesting and strange, and I'm terrible at playing it because I'm bad at adventure games. I haven't played the PS1 version, but I have played the Switch version, and from what I understand, it's just a port with a translation, so they don't change anything, I think. Maybe they changed some minor stuff, but it's definitely an interesting game. I'm glad it got a localization, but I do need to wait for a time when my brain can handle complicated stuff, because it is definitely weird and complicated. And I will say this is also an interesting find for me because I got it in Japan, and at the time, if you wanted to get a copy of it, you had to import it for over $100, and I wasn't going to do that, and I was interested in it, but in Japan I found it for around $50, so I was really pleased with that. I mean, I'm already in Japan, so yay, half off, hell yeah. And I feel like I don't get taxed on that either because of importy stuff or, I don't know, traveling, whatever. Maybe, but it's like $50, so hell yeah, half off. Now it goes for around that, I think, the original copy. Maybe a bit less or more, but I don't care. I got it for a good deal, and I'm happy about that. And then we have Ore no Rori. I keep mixing this up with a different game. There's a disc. It's ramen, if that's not very obvious, because camera. That's a cooking game, mini game, sort of. You get these orders and you have to deal with them really quickly, but if you don't deal with them fast enough, or if you mess up a lot, then bad stuff. Bad at explaining it. I haven't played it yet, but I've seen gameplay of it and it looks really quirky and silly and fun, and that's kind of my thing. You know, it kind of makes me think a little bit of like WarioWare in a sense. Like each task you have to do is a little mini game, but it's all on one screen. It's not like you're switching all the time, and sometimes a random thing will pop up that you have to deal with. It has a similar kind of weird humor, I think, from what I've seen. But again, got it in Japan, really cheap, and it looks really cool, so. And then we have Tales of Destiny. Don't get excited, this is the Japanese version. The English version is very expensive. This is the Tales of game, action RPG. I want to play through the series at some point. I think Tales of Destiny was the first game that we got in English, but I'm not 100% sure. It's not the first one in the series. Yeah, I don't really know much about it, because I didn't bother looking up much about it, because I think it's at least $300 for an English copy. So I was like, why should I research this when I'm not gonna pay that much for this? But I saw it in Japan for like, I think it was like $5 or $10, or I think it was probably $5, and it was in the bargain bin. So it's very, very cheap if you want to go Japanese, or at least it used to be. I don't know if it's more expensive now or not. I can't read it, probably, but eventually maybe. Also really cool is it comes with these little character cards and has stats on the back for each one. And it's so cool. I love this kind of feely things. So yeah, it was definitely worth the $5, even if I can't read it yet. Also, this manual is just thick. And we have Thousand Arms. Let me get the... So it's 2 discs. There might be an extra bonus disc, but this did not come with that. Don't know much about it. I know it's an RPG, and I think there's a lot of dating mechanics, and it's very anime from what I understand. Yeah, haven't gotten around to playing it. It's a little on the expensive side, if I remember correctly, and I got it at a good discount because it was a Black Friday type sale, so I just snatched it up. But I haven't gotten around to playing it yet. Then we have Tomb Raider and also Tomb Raider 2. These are adventure-y, explory, action-y games with Lara Croft, exploring ruins and things and killing all the species and stealing stuff. I haven't played those yet. I have played a little bit of a PC version a long time ago, and I remember it being interesting. Or maybe I've played a GOG version or something. I also own these on GOG or Steam, one of the two, and I tried to play it then on there, but it just wouldn't work, and I got really frustrated, so I was like, whatever, I'm buying the PS1 versions, because at least I can guarantee the hardware is compatible with the games. Then we have Torneko the Lost Hope, or I think it's Torneko no Fushigi no Dungeon 2, maybe, I'm guessing. This is the Japanese version, because the English one is expensive as well. Mystery Dungeon series, again, haven't played this one. We have Vagrant Story on both discs there, although this is a demo disc. Yes. Another RPG, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I don't think this one is as expensive. I think it's an action RPG, maybe. Square Enix. Yeah, I picked it up because classic game, so I will play it eventually, but I haven't been playing PS1 games lately. And then the last PS1 game that I own currently is the pretty famous famous or infamous? It's probably famous. Xenogears. This is both discs. I think it's a turn-based RPG. I have played a little bit of it, but it's been a while, and has robots. And I don't know much about the actual story because I got really stuck pretty early on. It's definitely one that I need a guide because it's a little bit more obtuse than my poor brain can handle. Not really faulting the game for that because old games. A lot of people like it. Apparently the story's really crazy. And then the second disc, they're like, guys, I know we said 3 or 4 discs or something, but wrap it up please in 2. And so I've heard it's a bit rushed in that way, which is unfortunate, but what you gonna do? Again, one that I'll play at some point. It's also a little expensive that I got for a pretty good discount as well. Anyway, those are all the PS1 games that I have so far. Let me know if you have any thoughts on any of these or any of your favorite PS1 games. I'd like to know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in another video. Bye!